Well, here we go. We've got this whole subframe welded up. It is clamped in place in that mid-mount attach-o-matic. I've got my uprights clamped into place. And I'd say that's pretty good progress for a day. I need to pop the roll pins out of that top right there, so this will slide off. But otherwise, my weights will be able to stack just fine. I think that's going to do real well. Still haven't figured out what I want to do as far as the end here. I was kind of thinking if I were to miter that at a 45 and then use another piece of that tubing to cap it off, it might look pretty slick. But we'll see how it goes. They say that weights is weights, so I grabbed a set of Craftsman wheel weights and I can stick those on the rear wheels, and the ones that I've got for the fronts, that spindle is actually too big, so the 8-inch fronts don't fit. But you know, I don't think front weights are quite as important as the rear weights for traction and overall stability, so I guess that'll be all right. And like I say, I think 480 pounds will fit on there. So we'll see. We'll see how it does. If I have to add another cross member, I could, and add more weight behind that. And we're definitely going to be able to move some material with this thing. I know that. So how about that? That looks really nice, I believe. Those bars are about a 1 inch below the surface. So I think I'm going to drill and tap each one of those and then make some type of a hold down for them, whether it just goes across or a big heavy washer of some type. But something to clamp them in place. It'll keep them from rattling and moving around, and also just look a little bit more finished. I need to run to the hardware store. I thought I had some 1/2-inch drill rod, but I don't, or threaded rod. And I don't have quite enough long bolts, so I need some 3.5-inch hardware for that and some washers. And then I also need hardware for those, but I'm thinking about this front bumper here. I took the broken bumper cover off, and there's a big heavy plate that's stamped for a front bumper, and I don't think that looks terrible. I could just plate that on top and build off of that. But I think what I'm going to do is take that 2x4 tubing that I used here, and I'll sleeve some holes here, and I'll have be 4 inches high, 2 inches thick, and that'll come out right about to the edge of this grill. Come out to here, and then just do a straight tube across, maybe with some mitered ends, and then have a piece coming back here. And that way I'll be able to build more triangulated supports from there, and I'll have a good, heavy, solid mounting place up front. So I definitely want to make this thing brute strength approved. I want to make it tough and willing to work. These XI frames are so much more advanced than the older 2-inch angle iron frames that I'm not really worried about the strength of the tractor. I just want to make my design engineering, you know, hold up to the engineering of the rest of the tractor. Up front here, I really like on the other tractor, on Stormy, how this subframe extends forward and mounts to the front of the frame up here. So I found this piece of angle iron, and I'm not opposed to extending this subframe because this angle iron is butted right up to the bottom of the front mule drive adapter. And if you recall, I was worried about this mule drive rattling around and changing the angle. So if I were to plate the front of this and put a mounting tab that I could bolt this to, it wouldn't really add a whole lot more structure, but it would definitely keep this from rocking like that. It would also make it so I don't have this empty space, so it would kind of act like a skid plate. So the whole underside of the tractor would have kind of a rail to slide on if I were to get hung up or put the front end in the hole. I'm assuming that I'd be able to dig out a whole lot easier than getting hung up on that subframe. So I think I'm going to take me a scooter ride to the hardware store and just think about that front end for a little while. And most times I just think about it so long, I end up just doing and not really thinking, and it seems to work out. So that's what I'm going to do. Stay tuned. I'll keep working on this. Thanks for watching.